Welcome to this explainer on the foundational concepts of business finance. Every single day, organizations of all sizes and across all industries are making critical decisions. Behind the scenes, managers are deciding whether to invest in new projects, expand their current operations, purchase essential equipment, or seek out additional funding just to keep the lights on. And every single one of these choices is a financial decision. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. Everyday decisions, defining financial management, profit versus value, key considerations, major decisions, and finally, strategic value. Section 1. Everyday decisions, the universal need for financial resources. Regardless of your industry, your organization must constantly seek funding and make complex choices about how to allocate resources. That brings us to a really core question. How can an organization use its financial resources effectively to achieve its goals? Answering this specific problem is the foundational focus of financial management. It's the driving force behind every spreadsheet, every forecast, and every boardroom strategy.
Section 2. Defining financial management, the core meaning.
Let's establish our baseline. Financial management is defined as the process of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling an organization's financial resources to achieve its objectives. It focuses heavily on how firms obtain funds, how they invest them, and how they navigate risks. Now, here is a vital takeaway. This process applies across all functional areas. Financial management is not just the responsibility of the finance department. If you're a manager in marketing, operations, or HR, you are making decisions that have direct financial consequences.
And this brilliantly illustrates how we can break that formal definition down into 4 practical pillars. To achieve their objectives, organizations must successfully acquire funds, smartly allocate resources, carefully manage risks, and ultimately create long-term value. These 4 pillars are the exact goals that managers have to balance every single day. Section 3. Profit versus value maximization, the evolution of financial goals.
Here we reach a fascinating narrative tension in financial theory. Over time, there's been a massive paradigm shift in what we consider to be the ultimate goal of a business. Traditionally, businesses focused strictly on profit maximization. The objective was straightforward: increase your revenues, reduce your costs, and generate higher profits right now. But the modern focus has completely shifted toward value maximization. Today, the primary goal of financial management is creating sustainable value for shareholders and other stakeholders over the long run. Looking at profit alone is actually a deeply flawed metric, and here's why. A strict profit focus is incomplete because it ignores risk entirely. It ignores the timing of when cash flows actually arrive, and it ignores long-term sustainability. For instance, you could maximize your profit this quarter by cutting all your research and development, but you'd be destroying the long-term health and value of the firm in the process. Let's look at a specific example to prove why timing matters so much. As this highlights, earning 1 million BRL today is entirely different from earning the same amount 5 years from now. Because money has a time value, the timing of your cash flows completely changes the actual mathematical value of that money. Having cash today means you can invest it, which brings us perfectly to our next set of principles.
Section 4. Key decision considerations, the 3 factors of financial choices.
So the crucial point is, whenever managers are navigating financial uncertainties, they must evaluate these 3 factors. First, cash flows. You have to track the exact movement of money into and out of the organization, because cash availability drives your operations. Second, risk. Every decision involves uncertainty, and you must weigh the expected benefits against the potential downsides. And third, the time value of money, recognizing that present money can be invested immediately to generate future returns.
Section 5. Major financial decisions, categorizing managerial actions.
In practice, financial management actions fall into 3 major buckets. First, investment decisions, figuring out where to invest funds, like purchasing new equipment. Next, financing decisions, deciding how to actually raise those funds. Should you balance debt versus equity? Finally, dividend decisions, determining how to distribute your profits. Do you pay it out to your shareholders, or do you retain those earnings to fuel future organizational growth? Section 6. Strategic value for managers, bringing it all together. Ultimately, mastering this framework is vital for every MBA student and future manager. Understanding these core principles allows you to make significantly better strategic decisions.
Even if your title isn't strictly in finance, having this financial knowledge helps you evaluate new opportunities, allocate your departmental resources efficiently, manage project risks, and truly contribute to the long-term success of the organization. It makes you a more complete strategic leader. To wrap up, I want to leave you with a provocative thought to reflect on before you move on to your next module. Based on everything we've covered today, why is value maximization considered a better objective than profit maximization in modern financial management? Challenge yourself to internalize this vital shift from short-term wins to sustainable long-term organizational health. Thank you for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring these concepts in your studies.